meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love.
All right, everyone, we're getting settled. Let's get started with another song.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Do it and do, feeling groovy. Feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love you, all is groovy. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy.
Welcome, everyone, to our Day 3 live breakthrough session for I Don't Believe in Astrology. As we get started, tell us in the chat where you're tuning in from and how many sessions you've joined us for so far. This is actually our 8th session right now happening inside this event series. So throw up a number. Tell me how many sessions you've joined us for. Oh, all 8, Tracy. Okay. Yes, 2, 8, 6, all 1. We might have some new people joining us, so welcome. We're very glad you're all here joining us. Remember that each session in this event series builds upon the next, so please be sure to join us for as many events as possible. And if you can't join live, you'll be able to catch up on replays posted in our Come Study You course at the end of each day. So let's go over a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, right now, check and make sure that your chat settings are set to everyone, not just hosts and panelists. Also important, if our emails land in your junk folder or promotions folder, be sure to move them into your primary inbox and add info@deborahsilvermanastrology.com to your email contact list. And if you're joining us live outside of Zoom, welcome. Please make sure you're tuning in to join us at idbialive.com to fully engage in this experience on our watch page. Also, a friendly reminder to everyone that this event is being recorded and a limited time replay will be available for you in the I Don't Believe in Astrology Come Study You course. If you have questions, Feel free to post your question in the chat, and a member of Team DSA will do their best to respond to you in the chat. For those of you on the replay, you can comment in Come Study You, or you can bring your question to the next live. If you have a technical question or need support, you can also email our support desk at info@deborahsilvermanastrology.com. And in case you missed it, we are running a giveaway, even though it's currently still in the grasp of Mercury retrograde and experiencing a technical glitch. We're going to keep you posted on that, but keep in mind, the more you share and participate, the more entries you'll get towards winning one of our amazing prizes, like a reading with Deborah, a reading with a DSA certified astrologer, or a spot in level 1 of applied astrology. And when you're joining us for our live breakthrough sessions or catching the replay, we'll be sharing a secret code that will earn you 5 additional entry points when you enter that code on our giveaway platform. The link to that giveaway tracking site is found in your I Don't Believe in Astrology Live Come Study You course. Winners will be announced on our special live virtual celebration taking place on Tuesday, April 8th. So here's how each day works. Today and tomorrow, we're meeting here live at 8 a.m. Pacific for a Wisdom Watch Party. Then we'll host a live breakthrough session at 10 a.m. Pacific, and then another at 1 p.m. Pacific. On Friday, we'll still start at 8 a.m. Pacific for a Wisdom Watch Party, and then at 10 a.m. Pacific, we'll have our final live breakthrough session of this event series. In each live breakthrough session, we'll start with an immersive meditation and prayer. Then we'll go over the day's theme before we jump into a conversation with our guests. Afterwards, we'll lean into elemental and astrological medicine, then invite a lucky volunteer or two to join Deborah live for an astrological laser session. Visit your Come Study You course for even more event details and replays. Remember, you'll only have access to this course for a limited time unless you've opted for our VIP upgrade for this event series. During our laser astrology sessions, you'll have the opportunity to work live with Deborah and your chart as a volunteer. Please use the raise your hand function in Zoom and enter your birth date, exact time, and location, and a member of Team DSA will reach out to you so Deborah can call on you later during the laser astrology sessions. We will select a few of you to potentially work live with Deborah. Getting selected does not guarantee you'll be called up, but we will strive to get to as many of you as we can. Once the meditation starts, submissions will be closed. When you're chosen to come on the screen to work with Deborah, Shauna from Team DSA will bring you on to video. Please make sure to press the button to accept the Zoom invite as a panelist. During the transition, you may see a black screen or it may look like you're getting disconnected, but please know you're not being kicked out. You're just getting moved into a different role on Zoom. So for those of you who resonate with the theme of getting shit done and knowing when to stop, now is the time to have your birth information ready and raise your hand if you'd like to be selected as a possible volunteer participant. Okay, thank you for sticking with me while I went over those details. Now, before we get started, let me quickly introduce you to Deborah. Deborah has been a psychotherapist and astrologer for nearly 5 decades, from having a private practice to running a full-blown astrology school. Her favorite thing about astrology is how it reveals our true character, helping us fall in love with ourselves, step into our natural gifts and talents, and cultivate more compassion for the people and world around us. Deborah created this event series and her new book because she wants to show you how astrology can change your life, especially when it's powerfully combined with psychology. Without further ado, please welcome Deborah Silverman.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're here again under the influence of the moon and Jupiter. Lisa, did you see that? The moon and Jupiter are standing exactly together right now. If it was a dark sky, you guys, we would look up, we'd see this moon and we'd go, what is that big shiny thing? Because Jupiter is 100 times the size of Earth. So we can't even conceive. That's the one planet in our entire galaxy who's completely giant, and it brings abundance and it brings joy and it brings humor, and it's in Gemini, so I hope that I get to tickle you. We started that song with Slow Down, You Move Too Fast, because the theme of today is Earth. And Earth is all about, Earth is the element that I was missing when I wrote that book, The Missing Element, my first book, because I didn't really understand how to organize. Like some of you in this room, I'd love to know who you are. You have a natural gift. You walk in the kitchen, the dishes get done, the dishwasher's got all the forks standing up instead of going down. You know how to fix things, like the bulb breaks and you're the first one to help, or you know how to sew something and you can fix the buttons, or you know how to put up the car, pull up the hood. And I can't do any of that. Yeah, so super organized. I am earthy. Look at all the people. I'm a Virgo. And they're extremes. That's exactly right, Maria. So this element was one of the ones that I had to go learn. I didn't understand by my nature what it meant to be consistent or follow through or be repetitive or do spreadsheets or do taxes. It just, I'm a double error. We just learned that. And this is what you see as we go through the elements. The water element are the people who are so sensitive and intuitive and psychic, and they feel so much that they get distracted from the practical world because they're completely consumed by their emotional body. And the air people, which is what I am, they have so many things going on at the same time that putting things away in the same place every time just sounds boring. So they have the scattered quality. But the earth people, someone taught me this years ago, which I don't do. Always put your keys back in the same place. Always put your phone where it belongs. And then you don't have to say, "Where's my phone?" all day long. So this is the usefulness of astrology, you guys, is as soon as you find out that your personality type is missing an element, and that's my first book, The Missing Element. As soon as you find out what the missing, you don't have to know any astrology, zero astrology. It's just there's a little test in that book that says, what's my missing element? Then you go read that chapter, and what I found out was the practical world was calling my name. And it was so important for me to start reducing my distractions and increasing my routines and my rituals. And once I found that out, you guys, so I'm going to just speak briefly about writing the book, which was really hard for a double air person. But what did I do? I had a partner who was a Capricorn rising, Earth. And what I found out was when I'm sitting next to someone who's grounded, when I clean with someone who knows how to do all of that, when I work with the finance guys who show me, I started to actually cultivate that missing element. And writing a book is like climbing up a mountain. That's why it's such a gift for me to have you guys buying it. It's like the hardship of this lifetime is you pour your life force into something. Earth, by the way, is wisdom is non-attachment. So while I want you to buy the book and I want you to take the school, I'm not attached. That's what you learn in the book. How do I let go? The earth people all know this. They get so attached to you being on time and you getting it right and you following through and you not changing the plans and I wasn't built for the earth element. So once you find out you have no earth, Diana, and that doesn't mean just because your chart says you have no earth announcement doesn't mean you have no earth, because sometimes the reason why goddess and God didn't put earth in your chart is because in your last life you were so bound that this life they're trying to free you up and you have an inheritance of that skill set already built in. So please don't mistake that if you're missing an element in your chart, it means there's none. Now, on the other hand, for some people it is. And today in our interview, you're going to meet two people that are missing elements. So, but let's come back to earth. Writing a book, climbing a mountain, having children get to college, having to produce a wedding, having to do Thanksgiving, having to do a holiday where you don't really want to go because it's your in-laws, but you have to dress up, buy presents, and pretend. These are all appropriate behaviors that are put in place by society that earth people love to clean, to cook. I have a friend who, before I get to her house, she always asks me, "Are you hungry? And what do you want to eat? And do you have any dietary restrictions?" I'm like, well, who thinks like that? But that's the nature of her intellectual mind, said the Virgo. So permission, said the astrologer, to all of you to be your natural self without the judgment. And if there's any function at all to my cute little book that I'm madly in love with, I don't believe in astrology. It's that in the beginning of the book, you find out about the elements, but most important, what you find out is that you have gremlins running around your psyche that are nibbling on you and they're undermining your sense of success or your sense of fulfillment or your sense of self-esteem. So if something's breaking, your termites under your system are saying things about you that you're not even conscious of. So it took me years to realize that I had a resistant relationship with practicality, that some part of me thought it was boring. These were my gremlins, and I thought I wasn't very good at it, and other people were so good at it, and I didn't care. It wasn't true. And that's where Ash Ruiz's work that I've introduced you guys to. I hope you're going to find him. He's going to come and sing for us at the end of the session. Is that true, Lisa? We've got Ash Ruiz on board.
That's right. Special treat, Deborah.
But what he does is he examines the thoughts of the gremlins that are under the system, and all of you have them. If we stop time right now and I asked you, what is the nature of your gremlin? What is the conversation? What is it that he says all the time that makes you feel, or she, it could be a gremlin's a she, that makes you feel like somehow you're doing something wrong, or your body isn't perfect, or you're not really lovable, or you're not really successful, or you're in the wrong job, but you can't leave because you're never going to find another. All the negative thoughts are being nourished. It's like a gas station that the gremlins go to, and they stick in this thing called your unconscious mind. What the book does is it challenges you to become aware of the gremlins, and then first things first, compassion. I mean, quirky, raise your hand if you have an ego. Oh, look, everyone's raising their hand. You have an ego. And what is ego? It's evading God's oneness. It's wanting to be special and different and insecure and anxious and depressed and all of the human nature dilemmas that come with the ego that are feeding your gremlins. So once I realized that I could give people the code to reduce the ego and put on the soul, which stands for, ready? The soul, as distinct from the ego, is the source of unconditional love. We're going to do a meditation. What if everyone in this world knew how to turn off that broken record called the ego? They actually knew where the knob was. They opened that little red door in the back of your head. It says ego department, and there's a knob off, which we're going to do in the meditation. And you put your ego mind aside and you activate your soul, the source of unconditional love, who's waiting in the wings, who's in love with you, and he's completely devoted to you from the moment of your first breath, following you around throughout lifetimes. I'm telling you the truth. And you started to identify with that voice who really loves Deborah and finds me very useful in the name of my spiritual purpose. So my soul is giving me so much love. And my ego says, you know what? You're here having a bad hair day. I'm just using an example. Or you're really not very competent. This book isn't that good. I'm telling you, this is what I suffer from. I don't know if you guys get this. I'm like, you know what? Some of it's really good and some of it's not really good. And this is my ego talking. And I'm really embarrassed and I don't know if people are going to love the book. And I hope I'm not being fake and I hope this is authentic. And then my soul comes in and goes, Deborah, you did such an incredible effort. You walked up a mountain with me holding your hand. I don't care if they buy it or not. You fulfilled your purpose. Wait, who said that? So when the soul speaks, it's a voice of kindness and compassion. It has no attachment to results. It's not measuring the way your hair looks. It couldn't care less about how many books you sell. And the ego has a spreadsheet and it's keeping track and it's measuring success and the numbers. And it's so interesting because our two people we're talking to today, both Mark and Colette, had artists. They're both artists who ended up in business. And that really affects the ego because the artist wants everyone to come buy their work, listen to their poetry, listen to the song, read the script, make the film. And then the soul's like, I'm so proud of you. Instead of going online today and getting distracted by your favorite distraction or getting caught by your habits or your addictions, you went and created something. You knitted that dress. Whether you can give it to that little baby is just the process of your love, being devoted to serve, that you did the thankless job of going shopping, doing the dishes, picking up the kids, bringing them home, going shopping, doing the dishes, bringing them home, going shopping. You've done the thankless job a million times. You know what your soul's doing? Keeping track with unconditional love in her back pocket. So can I just say to all of you, and I'm telling you this from my own evolutionary arc, which by the way is in the tarot book that if you guys buy the VIP, which I'm going to tell you about at the end, I just finished the tarot. See, there's another example. I wrote the tarot book. It was all about the arc of evolution. Consciousness comes in and you start with the fool. You have to be an idiot to come onto this planet. The first card jumps off the cliff. Woo! And then he lands at the magician's table with the four elements. And the first thing he says, the magician to the incarnated soul, is you must learn the four elements or you're not going to manifest your purpose. I know there's a book called The Missing Element. And then the magician says, please look up, because the next step is the high priestess. And she says, please close your eyes and go into the dark and you'll find the stars. There's a mystery language. It's a cryptic language that I want to teach you in baby bite-sized bits so you can say yes when you get home. And your soul can say, we didn't care what you did on the outer world. We didn't care what your body looked like. We didn't care how much money you had or you didn't have. We cared about the nature of your heart, how generous you were, how kind you were, how kind to yourself. Is that making sense, you guys? We're following the elements. First came water. That was the emotional body, the feeling body, the dream body, the little kid, the infant that has no words, that just needs a hug, that wants someone to love it, to tell it unconditional truth. Then came the air. What's my name? I'm going to school. I'm learning information. I'm listening to Deborah. I'm buying the book. I've got a stack of them. I can't remember where they are, but I know I'm learning. I promise I'm learning. I can't remember what I'm learning. And then comes earth. Hold on. Slow down. You move too fast. And that's the Empress. It's just right there in the arc of the tarot. No one tells anyone. It's a lost art to know how to find the mystical doorways that were put in place through ancient elders that looked like me. They were elders and they studied for lifetimes and they hid the mystery in the stars and in the tarot, and no one told us, but that's why I'm here. Okay, Lisa, today the moon's in Gemini and Jupiter's on it, so you're going to have to control me and tell me what time it is because I'm just going to keep going.
Everything was so beautiful, though, Deborah. Let's do a 2-minute meditation, and then we'll bring up our guests for today.
Okay, so can I just say to you, I don't care what element you're missing. I don't care if your sun squares your moon. I just want to know if you can live in the privacy of your own soul and be in love with you. Can you simply be in acceptance that your soul took on heavy duty karma? Every single one of you. That's what Earth School is. Big backpack filled with rocks put in place by your family, your heartbreaks, and your betrayals. You carry those rocks around. Then you meet Deborah Silverman and you get the book, I Don't Believe in Astrology, or you get the book, The Missing Element, or you study with Colette Baron Reed and she opens up these worlds. And the next thing you know, you learned about meditation and taking a deep breath and being inspired by people like Garen and Blair yesterday, or the Ash Ruiz singing to us. Let's do it. Let's take a moment and go in. Are you ready? I'm closing my eyes. I'm bowing my head. I rock when I am in prayer or meditation. I'm putting my mind to the left in a seat. I want you to put your mind in a seat, in a chair. Can you sit down, mind, ego? I don't need you right now. I'm listening to Deborah. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. And breathe out awareness. I am now aware that I'm in a meditative state in a room with hundreds of like-minded people in cyberspace with the moon in Gemini and Jupiter standing next to it. I am aware. I am aware that I have the free will to stop time with another deep breath. And I can breathe out calm. I can actually calm my nervous system as I breathe out. In the name of Earth, we ask for forgiveness for forgetting to pray over our food, for forgetting to say thank you to the pillow we put our head on, for forgetting to remember that the gold and the clothes and the oil in our cars and the gasoline is all from Mom. Mother Earth, we forget to say thank you to you, but in this moment, we are humbled and so grateful for this experience of being human. And while our mind, who's sitting over there in that chair, gets confused and feels insecure and doesn't know the answers, the mountains, the trees, the rocks, so solid, so unmoved by the questions, so constant, so reliable, so dependable. Thank you, Earth. Forgive us for complaining, because the truth is we are so grateful. The word earth and heart have the same letters. I'm so in love with the earth. The stillness that comes forward as I walk barefoot across the land. The warmth I get when I put on my clothes and I feel the protection and I feel the healing that comes from the food that I eat, the perfectly organized, unbelievable design on this planet to feed us with delicious, delectable smells and tastes of all kinds all over the planet, growing in abundance for you and I. Do we remember to say thank you to her? May we be humbled enough and aware enough to let this element of earth have a moment. Slow down. No one needs to rush. As I move into patience, calm, stability, I become a safe place. I become the wisdom of the mountains and the trees and the rocks that says, it's enough to just be. This is the gift of our ancestors, the wise ones that carried the wisdom across time, the elders, the grandparents, whose shoulders we're standing on. We are improving, we are evolving. The ones in this room, each one of you, whether you know it or not, you're making your ancestors proud for just being here. I bow my head to those I cannot see. I say thank you for the privilege of being alive in a time when I can be inside of cyberspace, open up people's hearts, slide into their ears, and give their soul permission to take over their lives. May each of you know that your soul is longing to breathe with you, to calm you down, to pour unconditional love into every cell of your body, of your soul. Yes, she's waiting. He's waiting for you. In this moment, the love affair is enhanced, increased, and I want you to hear inside your head, I'm so in love with you. You can say that to you. You can say that to the earth. You can say that to love itself. I'm so in love with love. So it is. Oh. You not only did you need that, Tracy, the earth needs that. She needs it every day from us. That's why I put my hand over my food. Stay awake, I say to myself. Stay aware. Don't take it for granted. When I put my head on that cotton sheets with the cotton, with those fluffy pillows, I say to myself, oh, I can't believe I get to lie under this roof and feel safe. And you know what? Everyone in this room, I want you to hear me. You are safe. And that's part of the gift of what Colette and Mark bring. Certainly Colette, who's by the way, one of my very dearest soulmates, as is Mark to her. So he's kind of like one of my soulmates because by association. I'm transformed, said Candace. All it takes to transform you, Candace, is to invoke the soul, put the ego mind in its seat. Stop. Take the earth element and create a ritual and a consistent practice, which is what I do every single day. I can guarantee you that Colette and Mark have spent so much time in meditation. I'm telling you, 5 minutes a day. Look at that. By the way, if you do the VIP, all of these recordings are sent to you, and then you can just practice, put the meditation on, just isolate the meditation, put it on your phone, and then start practicing. Oh, that's right. I'm so thankful. The rocks, the trees, and the mountains. They remind me how to slow down. Thank you. You guys, I'm loving looking at your feedback. Thank you so much. And yes, I can see the ego and the soul in your chart. Such a great question. The ego is your sun sign. It's the automatic knee-jerk response that people do. Like I'm a Gemini and I'm using my hands. The soul is the rising sign. It's the ascendant. It's your higher self. So for beginner astrology students who don't know anything, you do need your birth time. And you go on astro.com, you get your chart, and that's what our school's all about, which you're going to hear more about. Okay. Samantha got a notification that said, I don't believe in astrology, was shipped from Amazon. That's because it's less than a week.
Deborah, I got mine this morning too. I'm so excited.
But not the book, just the
My
notification.
notification that
Yeah,
it's
I
being
haven't
shipped.
even touched the book.
All right, let's bring up our guests for today. Deborah, I can't wait to see them, Colette
Yes,
and
I'm bringing up
Mark.
their charts right now. Oh my God, these are my two of my favorite people in the whole world. Look, let's
Hey,
hear from cyberspace Mark and Colette, and of course her little Libra puts her arm around her sweetie. They're so in love. How long has it been you guys have been together?
23 years.
No.
no,
22.
yeah, since
2002
2002
is
is when we
23
met.
years.
And I was there.
That's right.
Tells you about time and it tells you about Earth and how long things last. So you guys, I've been studying your chart when you weren't looking. I'm having so much fun. And
And
what
you know, I have no earth.
I know, and then I know that. And then I looked at Mark. You have no Earth, but guess what Mark doesn't have?
Water. No,
That's so funny.
he has everything.
He does not have everything.
No, I don't think I have everything. I think we were
You
once
have
in.
air.
He has only one
and-
planet in water. So isn't it interesting?
planet.
So she's a water sign. She brings water to him. He's
Yeah.
Mr. Practical in the name of the business world and keeping things all in order with his Virgo moon. And he brings that to her. It's like a perfect match in heaven. And you
And
don't
Venus
know-
and Taurus.
That's right. And he's so loyal.
Nice. Yes.
Okay, I love, look at that. All they're doing is smiling. Okay, can we talk a little bit about, to start with, the nature of relationship when you work together? I
Can I
mean,
just say how much I love you first?
her rising sign is Libra. She's in her soul. It's Libra,
yeah.
and the two of us are like little cheerleaders for each other because
We
we're
love
so.
each other.
I
Okay.
know. I love you two so much,
Well, we're
Colette.
talking about us now.
Okay, can you talk to me about how it is when you got like what is that working relationship and how did it? Because I remember, can I just back it up? I remember the story of Colette being on a boat and she talked to the dead people. This is what Colette Baron reads. In case anyone doesn't know, Colette Baron reads totally reads and he sees she's a medium, a full, she didn't want to be, but that's what happened to her. And so she was on this boat and Mark was there and it became so overwhelming because people in the audience like, let me tell you about your grandmother. And this is what she, and she knew her name and she ate purple candies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, this is getting out of hand. Why do I remember that? This is how many
I
years
don't
ago is that? How many years ago is that? That's
That had to be
2006.
2006.
how come
So
he knows everything.
19
Okay.
years
So,
ago.
so and then Mark who was a film writer, an incredible author. This is the story of Earth. He's been writing and writing and writing. It doesn't always fulfill what you expect it to do because he's got this Pisces genius in his chart, but it didn't show up the way it was supposed to show up in his mind, the ego mind. But instead, how did it go? So what was that? Do you remember that day, Mark?
That when I saw Colette for the first time?
On the boat doing that thing with the
Yeah.
And
meat?
I went running up
Well,
to
I've
you.
never seen anything like it. Like it was the first time I'd really seen her do something like that. I think it was the first time she really did something like that because she had just
You know,
been
in the
signed up
group.
for Hay House as an author, and she got put up as an opening act for back then Sylvia Brown, and I was like, "What is this world? This is
Where,
great."
and I went up to him. I went, "You're not going to leave me, are you?"
I didn't even know.
You're not gonna leave me.
I didn't know what a medium was. I knew what psychics
Please don't
were.
leave me.
Yeah,
The cutest.
she said that.
And
She literally said that to me.
I remember the
leaving.
story. And
I
then
was on the boat. How was I going to leave?
you're so funny. Okay, so then wait, Mark, so keep going. But then the business end, we're talking about Earth today. So
Yeah,
there's
well,
go ahead.
yeah, it's kind of interesting because I I've always been an entrepreneur since I was 20. I had an accident at a company I worked for, and they refused to pay the workman's comp. So I said, that's it. I'm never going to work for anybody. I'm just going to work for myself. So I was always kind of a self-starter
And
and
successful.
what have you. And had music in my background. I wanted to become a musician. So I had all those things. And when I met Colette, it was kind of like, Colette, I've run business. I know how to run business. No, I don't want you to work with me. No way. I don't want anything.
No.
This is my career. You stay out of it. So we went for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half of me staying out of her business, doing my thing. And then finally she just said,
I can't
"Okay,
do this.
yeah,
I can't do this.
it's
I
getting."
have no earth in my chart. My Virgo rising's broken.
Oh, remember we thought
Totally.
I had Virgo rising
For
because I had
so
the wrong
long, her
birthday?
birth chart was wrong, so she couldn't figure out why she couldn't ground. What this is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say to you guys. The organizational skills in Mark are natural, Moon and Virgo. But for
Hmm.
Colette, she can do it,
Oh,
but it's not natural. It
no, I
takes her out of.
can't. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older. I can't
I
do it
understand.
at all.
You're singing to the choir. So then what happened is they partnered and Mark brought his skill set to a foreign land. Like this is what's
Yeah.
happening on the planet. Men and the male side and all of us is opening up to the world of magic. Where once it was so weird to have somebody talking to dead people. Now just notice the evolution. And Colette Baron-Reed is a legend because she, like me, we're similar age, walked in when no one, first of all, she wanted to be a singer. So let's talk about that. So her career, this is for everyone in the room. You think you're coming in to do, like Mark thought he'd be a musician and he thought he was going to write books and he's going to do, and then Colette thought she'd be a musician. And then Spirit says, excuse me, in your stupid ego that's starved for
good.
attention. What?
And I was good. You play
They
my
both are
music.
good. Are you kidding? I'm not suggesting. Are you kidding? That's the point. Do not judge yourself by the outer world. This was Mark. He has so much Pisces. His creative genius needed a different assignment based on the soul's contract. You can't argue with your soul. Well, I guess you could.
I think it was kind of we were meant to be together. We always say like what's that the
Kismet.
word? Kismet, or yes,
The shared.
the shared.
That's Kismet,
Yes.
yeah.
So I always felt like when I started working with her, I just intuitively knew some of the what she needed to do, or what I just felt it, and it kind of excited me at the same time to say, hey, you can do this, you can do that, we can try this, you can start your school,
All
we
his
can do
Pisces.
all these things, and it just, as she allowed me to have more reins on the business,
Then
because
gave it all
she's
to
a
you.
Cancer, she's always going to
Said,
stick.
did I
to-
not give the whole
Hold
Camille
on.
back?
Let me tell this story, right? It's a little Cancer, her claws are gonna be all over everything, not let go.
No.
But as she did, as we trusted, as the relationship grew and the trust grew and things started going really well, then it just became a natural fit. And that's where we always thought, I think we were meant to be together. There's no way that we couldn't have been meant to be.
Exactly. So this is called, we saw this yesterday with another couple was on and they had the same feeling. This is a dream people carry. In the unconscious of everyone's mind is to find a partner that they can fulfill their soul's purpose, whether that's having children or running a business or being able to just be a happy. And there's very few people to note to self, it's not a bad thing, but the destiny line that made it be obvious that these two were meant to work together, they didn't get a vote. And by the way, they liked each other, thank God, the whole thing. But for some of you in this room, that's never happened. And I understand the feeling, and it's not to be misunderstood and judged. And that's part of the beginning of my book. When fate and destiny call your name and they have a little file with your name on it, and it said Colette and Mark, and they put it right in the front, and they made sure they organized their meeting online. They met through a dating.
Right?
That's crazy. Then they find out, and Mark gets on a boat and sees like dead people walking, like, what is this woman doing? And then they decide to partner. And now let's talk about the divination cards, because I want everyone to know on Hay House. Tell us about your cards, Colette.
So Mark had nothing to do with my cards.
I'm just, no, here, going back to that though, just
Yes.
she can talk about the cards, is what it enabled us to do
Mhm.
is for Colette just to be creative.
Yes.
And me take over the business aspect. And then that was the match. It's not that I was going into her business of trying to create stuff with her and her trying to control the business aspect.
Mm-mm.
we decided very early on,
You
Mark.
do that and I do this.
Yeah, Mark, you stay on your side of the fence, and Colette, you're gonna have to trust me on this side. So
Yeah, and it wasn't easy because he's an Aries and I'm a Cancer. Okay, we're both cardinals and we're tough little, and we like to, yes, what, am I gonna pull a card?
no,
No, I
that's your
can show
card.
that.
The
No, I
devil
have
is
to tell you the coolest thing ever on your composite chart. This is so crazy. Do you know this?
Triple Gemini.
I know that this is the funniest thing. Colette's Mars is 27 Aries and Mark's sun is 26 Aries. Your Mars is on
Yeah.
his sun, exact degree. In esoteric astrology, if the common two planets are with 1 degree of each other, it's a soulmate contract. Why? Because even though she pisses you off and you have this feisty thing and arguing together, the two of you are scary because that's the Mars on the sun. It's very rare. But
We don't really argue. And
not anymore, but when you first met, you hated arguing with him.
Yes.
Yeah, because he won all the time.
Exactly. But that's what it
I
is.
was like, well, screw it. You just win. You win.
But
could've
that
been a-
was the wisdom, is there's a dynamic in the relationship with Mars on the sun that had this feisty thing. She got wise enough to go, I'm letting go. He was like, perfect, I got this. And that's what we saw yesterday when this other couple, he always loses everything. This is the best story. In the middle of the night, he wakes her up and says, I can't get to the airport because I can't find my keys. Instead of her saying, you idiot, I can't, because he has no earth. She said, I'll drive you. And that's what you do with his arguing. You were like, okay, right? You want to argue with an Aries? I'm out.
I do it sometimes just to get a rise, just because I
Okay,
like
well,
the
that's
vibe,
different.
but frankly, I don't enjoy arguing as a rule anyway.
Libra rising.
I'm not that
Libra,
kind of
right,
person.
yeah.
But I really admire him too, because he is a real genius mind. Like he came up with stuff years ago that I wasn't ready to do, that everybody's doing now, that took me a few years to get with the program. He goes, why can't you do this? I'm like, right. And meanwhile, that's exactly the
That's his
direction.
Pisces. He has Mars
So
and
he
Pisces.
knows in advance what's going to happen.
Exactly. Okay, so now let's talk about the
Yeah.
dynamic of how it is that you can work and know when not to work, because you both have an obsessive work ethic.
We
Mhm.
don't work full on together anymore.
But what
we-
about when the time is off? Like, how do you stop?
Yeah, how do you stop? Say
Well,
that.
we have fun. We walk everywhere. But we like talking about business. We do enjoy it.
Because you
but-
know why? Do you know that your composite chart, you're a Gemini? The two
Yeah,
of
I
you
know.
together
We
are
like
a Gemini.
talking. How do we, what are you asking? I mean,
No, it's like, what
we
do you do?
travel.
Like, how do you not bring work into everything?
we don't.
Yeah.
We no, we just don't.
There's a point where I think
I like him so much better when we're not working together. And what now he's doing is now he's working again on stuff for me for the future. But I have another team now that runs the business and whatever. And we get along like a house on fire now. Oh, we did anyway, but now it's like,
it's never a problem. I think what we
Not
did together,
you.
we
I'm kidding. He's so bossy. No, he's so good at what he does. Frankly, he is almost always right. So
Okay, you heard that live. You heard that live right now, Mark. You want to write
that's
that?
it.
I said
I'm
it.
getting
It's
recorded.
on the
Let's get the
camera.
record.
Okay, tell me now, stop being so happy and funny. Tell me the part in the
Okay.
earth level. Tell me the part at the earth level where, because I know Colette and I are similar. We are servants.
Workaholics.
We are here to serve you guys. But the reason
Yeah.
why we're on this call, the reason why she stopped time, she's all the way in Europe, is because we are service oriented. I want you to all.
Yeah.
Can I answer to that? Let me
Yes,
answer that.
please.
Because
Yes.
you asked me about the Oracle cards, which actually goes into this part of the conversation because I didn't get a chance to answer that. So I am a creative-aholic, right? I'm a workaholic. I like to work. I like to create. Years ago, I mean, who the hell knew I would end up to do 19 Oracle card decks and counting? Like, yeah, that's what we have now. Coming out next year is the 19th one. Anyway, so I knew that in order for me to really fulfill my soul, that was the one thing I was I was obsessed about. It was my calling. We were like, how are you going to make a business out of that? I'm like, I really don't know. But I know that the answer, just like how that was, by the way, was a genius book. You know, your team accidentally sent it to me to edit. But I was like, yeah, I kept going, why am I getting the editing? It's so good. Can I
Oh,
just say,
she
Jeff?
read the tarot book. Nobody's
It's
read the.
so good. It's excellent. You guys need to have it. Yeah, I'm on your thread. I kept saying, hey, take me off the
I was
thread.
so scared. See this? Can I stop
Oh,
for?
can I say how good it is?
Can I say how scared I was? This is
Oh
what.
my God,
This is
silly.
what. But you know this feeling, Colette. You
Yes,
create
of
the same
course.
thing with this book. It's the
I
same.
Now,
vomit every time.
I'll
What?
step in now.
Scary.
One of
To
the,
finish.
no, because you're going.
What?
Go ahead.
I'm-
Let him talk. He's an Aries. He's bossy.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things, Colette is a creative holic, whatever you want to call it, right? I have to bring her back because everything's got to be perfect. Everything has to be, and I'm the type of person, no, you have to deliver. And since you're doing so much, you want to create so often, you're going to blow up. You're going to break down, nervous breakdown, whatever. You have to
True.
deliver. You have to meet a
That's
deadline.
interesting. I never heard that before.
Yeah, it's just because she's
But-
done let me finish.
No, you
Yeah,
don't. That,
yes.
I always meet my deadlines when it comes to Oracle
But
cards.
no, that's not the point.
What are you
The-
talking about?
The point is that anytime we had something to do, we had to set deadlines,
yes.
or else you could stay forever working on
I
10.
know exactly what he's talking
Yes.
about.
Now
God,
I,
you
okay,
just
fine.
nailed it. You guys, I've written a tarot book. That's a freebie. It's a continual gift because I love giving out presents, as does Colette. I'm giving you a
Yeah.
gift if you buy the book under this influence of this particular event. There's a VIP pass, and then you get the tarot book. But to your point, Mark, I wrote it. I've been working on it, honest to God, for I want to say like a
Whole
little
life.
less. Well, in the last like 6 months, I've been literally like, and to his point, I never feel like it's done, and I never feel like it's good enough, and I never feel like it's edited enough. And oh my
That's
God,
me.
Yeah.
I got
I
a little
post
excited.
rib every
So, but we're
time.
sending it out. And do you know how many people in this room, you guys, how many people in this room don't even start because you don't think you're good enough? Or you don't
Yeah.
make the time because you're consumed by practicality. I am telling you in no uncertain terms, this is so important. The excellence comes by its virtue of your intention.
Yeah.
So I've had an excellent intention with those tarot cards. Whether you guys like it or not, I don't know. But Colette,
I
you
read it. It's brilliant. And
really?
I make these tarot. Yes.
Because I kept thinking of you because you guys, you have to get her divination cards. Who knew
Yes,
there were
they are the
19 decks?
best. I
I
will
just
say.
recently found a new deck somebody showed. There that is. I use them every day. You guys,
Yeah.
this is so important. Whether you're doing astrology, whether you're doing divination cards, whether you're doing the Enneagram or gene
To my
keys,
art.
we're we're doing the gene keys tomorrow. Richard Rudd is coming on.
Cool. There's Richard Rudd. Oh, he's fabulous. I'm
So
this.
all of this is to say, oh my God, it's the moon in Gemini today. All of this is to say, couples have chemistry. These two are clearly manifesting monsters. I like to call it woman festers, but they're actually women and manifesting monsters. You may be in concert with spirit. That's what she does. When she writes, you know this, Mark. When I read the divination booklet, I'm like, I call her, who wrote this? Me. I'm like, come on, Colette. It's so good. I can't believe you wrote it. So please don't underestimate in the name of Earth, all you Earth people, judging yourselves, criticizing yourselves, inadequate, feeling frozen, paralyzed because you're so analyzed. Please give yourself the gift of writing, singing, doing some creative expression in the name of this I don't believe in astrology event, because if Earth is anything, it's us giving back to her after
Mhm.
all the Earth has given to us.
And I have a little kind of a story about that, which I think I read in Atomic Habit, where there was a professor, he split up his class, really short. Professor split up his class into two groups for the semester. He said, you guys in this group will only do one creative photograph, and that's all. You just work on it and get it, prepare it. The other ones, you need to do 100 photographs. And so you'd think, well, if they had all this time to prepare
Make
to
it.
get it all right, perfect, they obviously are going to be better. But it was the ones that just said, I'm going to keep doing, keep trying, keep going, who
Yeah.
turned out to be the best photographers in the groups.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love
And
I just love that he's Sag rising and he just gave us a philosophical truth.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think with that too is, the audience that you were talking about Earth, which is about doing something too, right? I mean, Earth is to create something, to have something tangible in your hand, and you just have to do it. I mean, I would get scared every time I wrote a book. I wrote 7 books so far. This last book that I wrote on the art of manifesting came differently because I had a different team, and it was about art and brain science. And I'm a nerd and I'm an artist. That was the easiest thing for me to write about. But it was like, how many things in between that I did that weren't successful, that weren't that, like you just got to keep doing something and not worrying and ask your soul to help. Like it's not, I always say, like, I love you, put the ego on the chair. It's not me. Like, I love when you say, did you write that? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I really think I received it.
That's the thing. And
Right?
that's
You
what happens
receive
the
it.
best.
You
Yeah.
receive it.
And I'm just going to add one more piece. I don't know if I told you this, Colette. This is so tragic. I had been writing since I was a kid. I have a million trillion poems. I've been like the endless writer. Last year, my computer on the iCloud got erased. Do you know the story?
What?
Every single thing that I ever wrote, thank God this book had been on a different platform.
Never told me that. This
I
is so
cried.
good.
You wouldn't believe what happened. My
Yes,
poor
I have
son,
Alzheimer's.
this, my son was in the house. I was so hysterical for 2 days. I felt like I was, and then the day came. This is what I'm trying to say about Earth, where I realized, let go. And I literally had to talk myself with my observer off the ledge and say, this is called the truth of Buddha. It was a Taurus. And Taurus's message brought to you by Buddha was all attachment comes from suffering. Nope. All suffering.
All suffering comes from attachment.
So if you're attached, you guys, to what you're writing, to what you're doing, to what it looks like, to how your body looks, all of that is an external reflection. The truth was, you do it with the purest of intent because we have to serve. Because why do we come to Earth if not to say thank you?
Service.
It's
like-
true though, and what's really great for me is Mark is not as service oriented, right? So he's get her done. And I'm all about but I want to love everybody and everyone needs this and I want to give it to them. And he goes, yes, but we have to stop now. Right. Right. And he goes, let's watch F1 races. I'm like, okay, so let's come back to Earth. So, that we can also get caught in the service piece too, where it becomes the identity and the identity then no longer serves, right? Because
That so much. There's 2 different flavors of Earth. One is let's do it now, get it organized. And one is, can we smell the flowers and have a
Yeah,
little
he's
chocolate
good
while
at
we're
that.
walking home?
or the fumes
The
with
fumes.
the F1 cars.
Hey,
Can
is there,
we-
the 2 of you think each other are so funny. Can I ask a question? In the
Yeah.
name of Earth and the seriousness, Colette and Mark, of your continual work, what is the payoff? What is it that internally gives you the feeling? What is the feeling that comes with 19 decks, a hard worked business, the ability to get successful? What is the internal result? It's a good question because no one ever asked me.
Day. It's just another day. Like I feel like I've left some type of a legacy, but I feel more grateful more than anything else that I got to do it. Like it's not about, oh, I'm so successful, because that can go tomorrow like that. It's not about that.
Like you
It's
can lose.
about, I really literally am so freaking grateful that I get to do something that I was born to do, and that I got to be with somebody who could make it possible for me to do it. And then love him and have fun with him and be with him. On top of it, I got like that, I got that. And also to watch him be creative, because now it's his turn too. Like he's writing a book and doing all kinds of creative things. I know we're not going to talk about it for my business again, because he can't help himself. And that's good.
Okay, now Mark, I want you to
Really-
tell us. That was the cutest story. I love how it all comes back to relationship for Colette. Tell us, what's the feeling inside of you when you feel like that you've done something? What's that inner experience?
This is here, gonna go back to the philosophical part. There's this kind of there's 2 sides to this story, because when you're successful, you don't get to be yourself.
I am.
In front of other people. You don't get to, you're always on call. There's a part of you where you're always on call. There's always a certain thing that you have to be. And when you're by yourself, you get to be, that's the greatest feeling, is when you're just yourself and being who you truly are. And
Oh
when
my
that's,
God, I love that so much. That's
and
his
when
son's 4th house. You know that he has a son in the 4th house? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So that's
His
why we
own
travel.
cancer. He just wants to be inside of himself, being in his own experience. But when you're in the public eye, and Colette Baron Reed has 4 planets in Leo, and everywhere she goes, the whole world recognizes her, not to mention she loves to laugh really loud. There goes
Mhm.
that fourth house.
But I think what he just said about being yourself, that is the thing that this has gifted me with, because I'm pretty much the same on and off stage. I'm like, when I'm in Spirit Jam, and you have people in here that know I'm the same person, that they see me here, the same exact person. So I don't, but I am also very weirdly protective of our private life. If you notice, I never post pictures of my home and stuff like that. I am very, this is ours. These are our babies. This is our
That's
world.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that's
It's,
true. I
it's
don't
just-
share certain things that my friends get. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, it's not the same
yeah.
thing.
No, it's
But I
totally.
understand, I
Everybody
really know
does
what
it
it
on
means.
social media, which
And
I hate.
in all transparency, one of the superpowers that Colette and I both have is we're so open. And you
Yeah.
see, what you see is what you get. And it's really this is Earth, the icky part of Earth people, when they dress up and it's all proper and they've got all the rules and all the protocols and you have to do the proper appropriate. That word that makes me want to throw up. We don't do well with that. But that
We
is
don't know
true.
what that is.
He's right. In the classical old version of Earth, success required a certain ego identity in a certain role that diminished the ability to be naked and to be completely
Yeah, I
transparent.
think for men more so.
Yes, and that is a real invitation for all of
No,
us.
that's fine.
How willing am I, two things I'm going to say, to be really accepting that your role this lifetime, while it may seem like you were pushed on the bus and you have to do these things and you've got to clean and organize and be the mom and be the business person, there comes this point in time where you go, no, 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 no. I love doing this. And then you know what the worst thing about Earth people, and this is what stops completely, is they complain. Oh, I'm always working. Oh, I always have to do this. Why is it always me that has to pay? Why am I always the one having like that has to stop. And when the earth person, those two things, accepting the assignment you were given, because it clearly is destiny, and these two have accepted their assignment, and you reduce the complaining, then it all becomes funny. And that's why they keep laughing. But when joy is in the picture, it's because they're not feeling burdened by their job.
And I'm not ambitious anymore. Like I used to, because I'm older, like I think when you talked about yourself as an elder, we are elders now. I'm going to be 67 this summer, in a couple months. And I'm thinking now about how do I leave my legacy for younger people, for them to learn how to do what I do, right? So like I'm literally giving it away in the next couple of years. It's like, this is what I did. I'm going to show you how I did it so you
I'm
can
going to
go
be with
do
you.
it.
I'm going to be with you. And,
I know
and
you are.
I love someone just wrote, I wonder what my assignment is. And I just want all of you to know, everyone in this room in the name of Earth
As
has,
one.
that is so true. And the assignments are obviously for Colette and Mark. They had a really big printed assignment. Take this little file here and go. And they went. And same for me as an astrologer. I knew at the age of 10
Yeah.
that astrology was my middle name, and it has never gone away, and it doesn't get me bored for one single second, which is why I love my book. And having said that,
So
I've
good at that.
really learned how to pace myself. So that's part of why I am
Better
so,
than that than me.
and that's why I asked, and that's what Mark said to you. What do you do to stop? I really do, honest to God, walk barefoot every single day in Hawaii.
Yeah. We walk 6 miles a day now here. We went to Portugal. We're here for 3 months. I'd like to move here actually. Just in the Southern Algarve, and we go for long walks in the morning. I don't go to work now until noon. I don't look at my computer. Like we are out walking. We are out exercising. We are going to have our little coffee. We're talking to people, strangers. Most people don't know what I do, which is great. And it's awesome. Like we're changing things right now because it's important to us. So the success that you're talking about was way more important to me 20 years ago than it is now.
Because you know why? You've achieved it, number one. But two, the older we get, the more we realize, you guys, that's why I put that song on.
Not what I'm going to talk about when I'm dead.
Slow down, you move too fast. That was the first song as we opened up this. So thank you both. I'm so in love with you. Now I miss you more than ever. I hate
I
missing.
love you. And we are a real good example. One day, I should talk about friendship. About
We're going to do the whole thing on friendship. Yes. This has been, Daniel was like 5. It's been about 25 years of Colette and I driving each other crazy. With Mark in the other room going, you must be talking to Deb because we're laughing so loud. Thank you for being here. I love you.
Thank you. And everybody buy her book.
And
And
thank
get
you
that.
for endorsing
Yeah.
this. And the Tarot book comes with
Oh,
it.
so good. The Tarot thing, you guys got to line up for the VIP. Let me help her.
Yes.
He's touching my knee. Like, we're done now. Let's go eat.
Crosstalk.
Tell us everything, Colette.
So we are.
Oh my God, you're so cute. I could just keep going. Okay, moving right along. We're going to do free readings now. We could include Colette in the free. She is so gifted. You guys
I
have to
gotta
go
go.
check out. She has a whole school where she teaches how to use divination cards. So
Deborah,
don't.
we're actually going to jump into low road and high road of Earth.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The low road is the workaholic. It's just exactly what you just heard. The workaholic who talks business and doesn't know how to have fun, and they complain and they feel burdened, and there's too much going on in your world, and it has to be perfect, and it's a mess. Low road of Earth is you've got everything organized, but it's a mess, and it drives you crazy, and you don't have enough time to clean. Well, that's crazy. You've got it all organized, but you're too busy, and now it's driving you nuts because you hate a mess. That's all because you forgot the song. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last just kicking down the cobblestones. Do, 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 feeling groovy. Okay, the high road of Earth. A server who sings while they work and knows how to pace. Can we just do that right now? Just slow everything down again. This is called the observer. This is the most important part of my book. The most important part, not your soul, not your ego, not your sun sign, not where your Mercury is in Saturn, but just the ability to step out for a minute. This is the last chapter, the 13th sign, and just stop and let's do it right now. Take a deep breath. Breathe out slowly, calm. And you can just stop the ADHD, Tammy, and you have a rough life, anxiety. Do another one. One more. The deepest breath we've had today. Hold it at the top. Slowly, slowly breathe out calm. Notice the world change. Notice the frequency in the room changed. Notice that silence waits for you all the time. My good friend Ash said, silence always wins. It never goes anywhere. It's in the middle of the mountains. It's in the middle of the woods. It's in the middle of the jungle. It's See how water and earth get along? You pour water on the earth and the earth flourishes because in water the word was quiet. You add that to earth, the quiet, and you do your job whistling, delight it, and the whole world changes. Okay. I'm telling you about this upgrade because there's this Tarot book that she just said she loved, which no one's read yet. So I'm kind of surprised. But see, that's what I mean. That's my ego. That's my ego feeling insecure. Did I really write a good piece? Was it too many words? Was it not enough words? Was it accurate grammatic? All that earth thing. And then there's the wisdom. Take a deep breath. My intention was so pure to give you a free gift. I wrote a book with my heart open because I wanted to share with you the wisdom of how to turn on your observer. And that's enough. If it all doesn't even happen, it's enough. Because my soul is measuring my intentions and the purity of my heart, not the results. This outer world's an illusion. It'll be gone in a minute. You can do it, Aunt Lynn. You can get the Tarot book if you do VIP. It will give you the option, and then you get all the recordings. You'll hear in a minute. Let me read you from page 47. So we finished the air cycle. The air was all about the mind and the confusion and the ideas and the multiplicity and the indecisiveness and all that stuff, except the high road of air was the student who was intelligent and studied and took the book and read it and remembered it and went to school and practiced intellectual activities that increased awareness, like meditating. And then comes earth. After schooling, we enter adulthood. We start our career, and now we're responsible for the realm of money, security, work, and time. So is birth the desire to be perfect and to get it right, said Virgo. Your job is to become a grown-up, financially responsible, to show your worth through your contribution to the world, Capricorn. It's common for Earth peoples to feel like they've never done enough, to carry a feeling of inadequacy, and to judge themselves and others as either a success or failure. And that's what I wanted to change. I don't want Earth people feeling in this room like you are, like, why are you watching this today? How practical is this? I shouldn't spend money on myself. I shouldn't take an astrology class. It's impractical. How is this? It's not true. The intent to evolve in the name of spirituality is everything. It's everything. Okay. The life lesson, if you have moon like Mark did in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, you can cut off, not feel a thing, criticize, or you can genuinely serve and provide and be stability for somebody else, just like I loved watching him. My goodness. Which is it? Do you cut off and criticize, or do you serve and provide with a smile? Because some people with moon and earth are just mean. They don't have an emotional body. Okay, next. Unless it's moon in Taurus, that's the most exalted and the most comfortable placement. Some people who have Saturn in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, this is in the book. You can go look it up. So if you buy the book and then watch this over again, you'll see this. It's the important lesson. Your identity is not based on what you do on this life, on the outer plane, but the pleasure that occurs in your body. I only wear cotton. I only wear bamboo. I only sleep on soft sheets. I am crazy when I go shopping. I touch everything. This world for me is sensual. The essential oils that I pour over my body, it's just so funny. The constant incense and candles that are burning that smells so good. That's the pleasure that occurs in the body when you have time to prioritize your soul who lives in your body, better known as your rising sign. And why do you think we all buy essential oils? You know why you do that? That is the earth's nectar, reminding you of her beauty so you can go, oh, thank you. I smell so good. Thank you so much. And when you say thank you so much, you're in the land of earth because the word heart and earth have the same letters. I cover my heart. I walk outside every single day in awe. Every single sunset, every single sunrise. I'm like, can I just cheat because you guys have been here for so long? Do you know what the last line of my book is? Ready? The reason why we live forever is because it takes that long to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege of being alive. Thank you for the ability for us to be in this body. Thank you. Next slide. And here's the thing for all you earth people. How many in this room today are relating to this? We're at 700 people in the room. How many of you would you identify as the perfectionist, the workaholic, the critic, the never getting enough done, always having to be organized, feeling like no one else does it? You're always responsible. You're the designated driver. It's amazing you're watching this whole webinar because that's not like an earth person. You can't afford things. You don't want to spend money. You're always budgeting. You got your eye on the ball. That's why I have shoulder pain, said Melissa. Exactly right. Your body hurts, but you don't have time to take care of yourself because you're too busy, so you don't do the healing. So here's your mantra. Here's your medicine. Everyone that's saying yes in this room. Wow, we got a lot of earth people. Procrastination, yes, that's earth. Getting lazy, accusing yourself of being lazy. That is so in this book. One of the design faults is the human condition thinks of itself as lazy. It's not true. It takes enough energy just to breathe. Let's do another deep breath. Slowly breathe out calm. If you're having financial problems, you do not have a relationship with Earth, so don't tell me you do. If you're having a financial problem, it's because you're insecure and somewhere you don't feel worthy to go get yourself a job that you really want. If you're having a financial problem, somewhere you didn't learn how to budget. If you're having a financial problem, you need to ask somebody for help. Someone just asked me this morning for help. I had to lend them some money. I'm okay with it. Ask and then repay them, which is a big thing. Okay. I'm sorry. Can you go back for a second? I just missed that. the medicine. Here's the medicine. I'll repeat. I want you to write it down. I always get, this is what's so true of Earth people. I always get things done. You worry, you're in the future, you're nervous about it. I'm worried about the tarot book. I'm worried about the sales of my book. I watch my ego and my internal dialogue and my gremlins have a party. And then I repeat to myself, I always get things done. I did it. It doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter how many they sell. It doesn't matter that I lost all of my writing. It took me a minute. I had to not walk over my emotional. I cried. I wailed. And then I realized I'm not the outer world. When we leave this planet, you're not going to be measured by how much money you made. You'll be measured by the nature of your heart and how much you gave and cared and took care of it. I'm a success even when I fail. When I look back at the failures in my career, like you saw with Mark and with Colette, they both didn't become the musicians. It looked like a failure. That's a success story because that's karma. And the last line I really want you to steal and wake up every day. I love to serve. I love to help you. I want my books to help you. I want this webinar to help you. I want for you to realize your soul is in charge and for you to devote yourself and learn about prayer and meditation. That's all I want. And that's enough. And if you serve and you find yourself not being given back to, which happens a lot, the generous one, the one that cleans, the one that does the dishes, the one that's always driving, the one that's picking up the kids, the one that's paying for things, stop complaining and realize that's your nature and you love yourself for that. What a difference. If I can tell you what happens to Earth people when they stop complaining about work, I don't want to have that's extra time. I only work 8 hours a day. What are you talking about? You don't know this is holy actions that the angels are watching you now. If you overwork and you're not having fun, that's a different conversation. But if it's like we're in the middle of a launch, my whole team is all hands on deck. They're spent. You guys, you can't imagine what it takes to make these events happen. You can't imagine what Melinda, my CEO, has to go through to manage all the people. For me, every day, putting on my little outfit and blow drying my hair and making sure that I've done all the charts and I've got all the details and I have a meeting before, all that's my delight. And all the women that work in my company, I watch and I pay attention. Are you guys okay? Let's take a deep breath together. How you doing back there, Alyssa and Shauna and Lisa and Nicole and thank you. I want to say thank you to all the people that are helping me make this happen. Of course,
We're here because we love you, Deb.
Holly, because you love, I'm going to cry. You're here because you love this work.
Yes.
And I am the reflection of this work. And what is this work? It's waking up the unconscious mind to be grateful and to say, I always get things done. I'm a success even when I fail. And I love to serve. That's Lisa. She's Virgo rising. They love me. You guys love me. You're here for me. Don't get confused. This is not Deborah Silverman. This is Luciella, a channel that's come to Earth to say to all of you, please help me. Turn on your observer. And you can't do it alone. And the book is one of the two books, but the one book, I Don't Believe in Astrology, is now a verbal exercise in reducing the gremlin. I wanted to call the book You're Fucked Up and I Still Like You, but they wouldn't let me. Luciella is the spirit that runs through me. Okay. Next slide. And now we get to play astrology. My favorite toy. Because I
First
love.
up, we have Sheila, Deborah.
Okie dokie. Let's see Sheila's chart. First things first. Before I even meet somebody, I think that my sweet girl sent me Sheila, but I can't see where it is. Here it is. Of course. Oh my God. Come on, Lisa. Tell me that you did not pick this person.
So this is always picked by Shauna using her own
Shauna,
intuition.
you are so, she's Cancer rising. Look what she did. Not only is she a Virgo, but her life is, which is Earth, but her life lesson is Earth. We can just do this for the whole session.
Okay.
Sheila You must have been relating to this so hard.
Yes.
Look at her leaning over on her hand, slightly tired. What's happening for you, Sheila?
I'm just trying to take it all in. I'm overwhelmed by all the learning.
Tell me what stayed with you. Tell me something that we said today that you're like, what?
Oh my gosh, like
You have no air in your chart. It's probably not fair to ask you. Give me just one sentence that you were left with that you're like, wow, that's crazy.
I don't even know what to say.
See, that's what it's like when you have no air in your chart. Did you relate to always being the responsible one?
Oh, ultra super responsible.
Are you always the one making the list to make sure everybody's taken care of?
Always.
Are you the one at work that everyone counts on because you're so good at getting shit done?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there you go. This is such a classical story. Sheila, did you know you have no air in your chart?
I had no idea.
So that's why verbalizing's not easy. It's hard for you to find words, but boy, do you get shit done.
Yeah.
What do you do?
When I am working in a corporate position, I used to be a legal assistant. And I did that for stress relief because at home, I was mostly a stay-at-home mom with 2 special needs children.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're still at home with me and they're in their 30s.
And they have special needs, and you've been their mom and you've been the caretaker the whole time. If that is not Virgo, and with Saturn and Taurus, and do you complain? Tell the truth.
No, not too much.
How about on the inside?
I think on the inside, there's some resentments and some complaining. Yeah.
Exactly. So honest. So here's the deal, you guys. Underneath the system, and you're allowed to complain, by the way, Sheila, who's taking care of those kids and who's working all the time? And are you the prime supporter financially?
I always have been, but now I'm married to my best friend and we're sharing that.
Is that the best story? How long have you been married?
13 years this November.
And does it feel so good?
To share the load? Yeah.
And do you feel like it's a thankless job? Like, do you wonder where the appreciation, or do you feel like you're doing it without the need? I'm curious which side you're on.
I think most of the time that's my job and it needs to be done, so I do it. I think sometimes if I'm in a really pissy mood, I wonder why it's thankless.
I just want to say to you, in this lifetime, by the way, this month, you've just changed. So you were in 2.5 years of a heavy cycle where your emotional body was driving you nuts, like kind of depressed. It's just changed in the last month. Can
Yeah.
you feel the energy shift?
Big time, huge.
Okay, so this is Astrology 101, you guys. I really want you to hear this. The simple indicator of the progressed moon, which is now, it's too much to tell you about as a beginner because I'm assuming you haven't studied yet with us.
I haven't. I've been taking Colette's courses and I have friends that have taken courses with
Okay,
you.
so this is Colette. I love the combination. Colette opens up the right brain and lets the intuition come in. I do the Virgo thing, give you Windex and clean out the left brain, and you get some hard data, which Virgo loves. So I'm going to encourage you to do level 1, 2, and 3. You will be a perfect candidate to give yourself the gift of being able to put your attention on you, because you're always thinking about everyone else. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
So if you could take advantage of this change, the transition just this month. I mean, it's crazy. You're on the screen right now.
Yeah.
One, that you're so much Earth. The burden of Earth is you've got 2 children that you have to take care of, and you've been so responsible. And now it's your turn to start having fun.
I agree.
And just to announce once more, in September in Boulder on the 23rd and 24th, I have a live event with just 10 women in the room, but this would be so amazing for you to give. It's called 4E. You heard people talk about it yesterday, because there's a part of you that needs a turn to carve out time for just you. And when we are Earth people and we're so distracted by the other and the task and the timeline and the schedule and the taxes and the organization, we are the last one on the list. And you are a victim, really, truly, of being the superwoman that doesn't know how to take care of Sheila if you're not careful.
I'm learning that.
I'm so happy that's so perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to you studying with us. You've got the perfect mind to study astrology. What is behind you? Oh, that's just beautiful art. Of course, she's got Earth. Look what she's got. That's so funny. She has no air in her chart and she's got a bird behind her, an eagle. That is what I'm talking about. The elemental wisdom shows up all over our life. You've got an eagle behind your head. You have no air.
I need all the air I can get.
That's exactly right. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you for your time
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank you, Sheila. Deborah, we have time for one more super quick volunteer, which would be
Okay.
Debbie.
Okay, wait, stop. Everybody, what element do you guess Debbie is? Don't even try. It's just ridiculous. Yes, we've got another Earth. You got it, Tracy. Okay. Debbie, how does this even happen? Woohoo! A little bit of magic in my soup. Okay. Another Sun in Virgo, Moon in Virgo, Mercury Virgo, Venus Virgo, Jupiter Virgo. You're what? One?
Yeah.
Can you use the pointer? Who's ever got that? Is that you, Shauna or Lissa? Can you point to all the Virgo? Sun in Virgo, move down Jupiter in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, Venus in Virgo, Moon in Virgo, Pluto in Virgo. This I've never seen this before in my life. And Uranus in Virgo. What year was this? 1968. And there's 6 planets in Virgo. Do you know astrology, Deb?
Mainly through you.
Did you know you had 6 planets in Virgo? Or
I
7?
did. I've known that for a while through yoga.
How does it affect you? I'm so curious.
I think I'm a perfectionist, but then I'm completely ADD, chaotic.
Yes.
I can't get things done even though I'm doing everything. And I have no air.
Okay, beep, 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 beep. You don't get things done in a normal fashion. But what is your job?
I'm a Reiki practitioner.
So you're getting things done in the invisible. How dare you say you're not getting things done? Take that sentence and put it in the toilet. Go throw that away.
Yep, thrown away.
You get things done in a very peculiar way. You've got such a strong, unbelievable, radical chart. You've got Mercury conjunct Jupiter. What that means is that your Mercury's the mind, the biggest planet in the heavens, Jupiter, sitting on it goes, I'm so excited about everything. I've got a list of 45 things to do and I don't ever get things done. Whoops, I'm taking that sentence out. I've got 45 things to do and I always get things done on my time, in my peculiar ADH way, where I get so many things happening at the very same time. No one can keep up with you. Am I right or am I right?
You're right. Everybody tells me you're late. I said I'm right on time.
Virgos are always late because they have too many things going on and they're right on time. Good catch. You guys don't even know this. In my new book, I write about this, Deb. Virgos are not on time. They have a schedule, but they have too many things to do. So they're always a few minutes late and then they hurt themselves. That's essentially what happens. And they start to judge themselves for being late.
Absolutely.
If you read my book, you're going to stop judging yourself. You're going to go, oh, that was a gremlin. My observer's on. I'm noticing I'm judging myself. Let's stop that right now.
I bought it. It's coming.
I want you to study. It's hard for you to study. You have such a strong case of multiplicity and constantly. And so that's okay, Deb. For all of you in the room that that have ADHD or you have anxiety or you can't focus, that's not bad. That's a symptom of a genius who is not playing on the same turf that we're on. You're on a different frequency. Why is that bad? We speak about diversity all day long. We talk about people and all the different flavors of the sexuality and all the different flavors of their neurobiology. And now we're talking about astrology and the different versions of all the different people. So beautiful, diversity. And by the way, you don't do things normal, period.
That is true.
Can you give us an example of what you do in a day?
Oh, I study ascension work, Reiki, walk the dog, have to be in nature. I should be so grounded, but I'm not. I have to be outside.
Because your
I wrote
nervous
a
system
children-
is like your nervous
Yes.
system required to be matched by a tree is very comforting.
Absolutely. When they put the notification on to come on here, my anxiety went through the roof. Oh, I got to be perfect. But I'm like, okay, breathe in, Deb, breathe out the calm, breathe in.
Oh my God. If you just practice, you guys, I'm not making this shit up. I do it during the day. I had to do it today because I had a friend had a crisis and I had to lend them some money. And I was like, what, in the middle of all this? And I stopped and went, do it with me. Hold it at the top. Slowly breathe out calm.
Absolutely.
It's a choice. It's a practice. It's a discipline. It's earth. And you are very unusual. Announcement, 6 planets in seven. You have 7 planets in Virgo. I can't even count. You have 7 planets in Virgo. Permission to know that you're unique and therefore you are off the grid of having to play this game according to the rest of us.
All right.
Get out of jail free card. I'm handing it to you. And you just took one for the team, Deb. That's the last card of the tarot. The last card of the, you can stop sharing. The last card of the tarot deck is the world. And it's Saturn, because that's what all my book is about, is Saturn. And it talks about everything that's going on in this lifetime, all the patterns, all the personality types. It's a human coming in to take on a package for the human condition. And you took one for the team. You were like, I'm going to go down with 7 planets in Virgo. I'm going to be a highly strung nervous system, and I'm going to learn how to walk in nature. They were like, go, Deb. Just don't make the
Yeah.
mistake of thinking something's wrong.
Breathing and meditating has been a blessing for anxiety. It's changed my life.
So repeat after me. I'm beginning to fall in love
I'm beginning to fall in love
with who I am,
with who I am,
just the way I am.
just the way I am. That's my mantra. I am perfect in all my imperfections. Thank you so much. Ah, what an honor.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank
All
you.
right, Deborah, let's share our bonus code for everyone to keep in their back pocket for when our giveaway tracking platform is back up. So you'll want to use Gentle for 5 additional entry points for our giveaway.
But that stupid thing, Mercury retrograde, still isn't working.
It's so true. We're
So why
not
do we just got to give them excuses? Another get out of jail free card. It's not your fault.
right. And then let's just quickly share our next session review. So that will be at 1 p.m. Pacific,
Fire!
4 p.m. Eastern with Emily Fletcher and Danette May. So that is today. And now we have Ash joining us
With
to
the
close out our
favors of the
session.
universe. Or wait, Ash. Maybe we should sing that fire song with those girls. Did you have? I told them to do, you know, my favorite songs. Hi, Ash.
Hello there, love.
What was your takeaway, Mr. Capricorn?
Oh my gosh. Well, I just loved watching Colette and her beloved, how they worked together, she was leaning on him. They were just full of smiles the whole time. You can feel all the love between them, and how they've been able to discover that they have that aligned dharma, because they were so available and so willing to allow it to show up in a natural way, in an organic way. That was so beautiful to witness. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm being echoed for some reason. I think it's because it's your turn to sing. Go, baby. What would you like to sing? You get to pick. Don't listen to me.
Yay. I'm feeling the Abundance Jackson moment. Since we're here in air and I feel all grounded and and I feel like a spring tulip just came onto the earth in this pink outfit. Yay! Oh, what a blessed moment. Hey, home, sacred geometry. Won't you fly out of me? Sonic astronomy, this be vocal alchemy, toning my way onto Ganesha's balcony. The view from in here is a Celestine prophecy. Angels with microphones, goddesses sing cosmic disclosures about identity. Cosmic disclosures about identity. The only life here is the one listening. The only life here is the one. Listen so sweetly that you disappear. Listen so clearly until you're not here. Not here as a thought, not here as a body, not here as the one trying to get to the party. Because right where you are without changing a thing is the one celebration, the only big bang. You've never not been the pure presence of love. You cannot experience there's not enough. For atoms keep flying right out of God's pocket. It's your face on the ID that God has on her wallet. No need to say it, but I'm going to call it. You've always been you and you've always been ballin'. Your name is Abundance Jackson. Your name is Prosperity Jenkins. Your name is Infinity Smith, exalting the reality of indescribable bliss. Your name is God Loves Me Gonzalez. Your name is Garismi Ruiz. Your name is the sacred, immeasurable beauty that brings everything here to its knees. Confusion. Confusion's not just for the wealthy. Confusion's not just for the poor. Confusion's but the unquestioned assumption that this moment should be something more. More this, more that, more Cadillacs. Pure imagination. When maybe not tending to the here and now contributes to global devastation. Maybe not taking the time to invest in the silence found in meditation gives rise to the hurt and the pain we inflict on ourselves. The hurt and the pain we inflict on ourselves, only ever ourselves. Misidentification. Skin lines, timelines, them there lines drawn on a map. The only word I can find to rhyme with the assumptions of lines is crap. The you, the me that gives rise to destinies has only ever existed as flashing possibilities. A thought in the mind of God. A God in the mind of thought. It's a good thing this here golden perfection has never ever once been caught up in mental elaboration. Thank heavens for evaporation, for the ingredients of separation can't survive the shine of this here confirmation. Your name is Abundance Jackson, beloved. Your name is Prosperity Jenkins. Your name is Infinity Smith, exalting the reality of indescribable bliss. Your name is God Loves Me Gonzalez. Your name is Garismi Ruiz. Your name is the sacred, immeasurable beauty that brings everything here to its knees. Your name is the sacred, immeasurable beauty that brings everything here to its knees.
I just want to hear the thing. Gremlins have a way with words for sure. No, that's not a gremlin job. Angels have a way with words. Why is it echoing? I don't know. If you want to work with me in Ashen Curtain, the 4E event in September, write that down.
Oh my goodness, the 4E event in September will be so fun. And thank you all for your beautiful messages. I send you all such a big hug. I feel like we're having a big group hug.
And the moon's in Jupiter today.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Moon and Gemini.
Okay, I'm going to see you guys later in a few hours. We're going to do this again. We're going to do this again before the day is over. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Colette and Mark. Thank you, Shauna, and everyone behind, and Nicole and Holly and Alyssa and Melinda and the team of magical beings. I can't say thank you enough. I'm pushing a button. Ash, watch this. In 1 second, you're going to be gone. Or I'll be gone.
Bye, Ash. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to switch over to a break session now, so you can stick with us, enjoy some music, and we'll be back at 1 p.m. Pacific, which is 4 p.m. Eastern for our next session.